Hello and welcome to our third match of this series. It's ACOG versus FragSoc, and I'm here with Excoundrel. Excoundrel will lead us off.
Yeah, this is the winners bracket first semi-final. The other semi-final going on between Manchester and Imperial College London. This will run into the winners final, which will be played tomorrow from 7 p.m. GMT, so stay tuned for that. If you want to get involved with any of the losers bracket games, there will be losers brackets games on twitch.tv/thenewell2. One of our casters has dropped out, so we have a new caster called Tom, also known as Theory Baby. He'll be casting alongside James for that. If you're interested, I think they're casting... I'm unsure actually, because I'm not running that stream, but it'll be, I think, a... I don't know, you have to go look at the stream, I have absolutely no idea. But they're casting one of the losers brackets games. We will be casting a losers bracket game after this. This will be the final game for the winners bracket tonight. So we'll be seeing ACOG, who we saw last game, versus FragSoc, who were our third seed. They did very well last tournament. They're doing very well this tournament as well. So this is our second seed versus third seed showdown. Should be really good. What are you thinking from the band so far?
Well, we see a Zach ban. Zach's been instrumental in the games where he has been played today. Just that let's bounce from the elastic slingshot, just giving you a lot of mobility. Also, his inbuilt sustain with being able to pick up his blobs and get extra health back from them really makes him a very good jungler. Lissandra as well, we saw her played very well by ACOG in the last game. Just getting in there, using the ultimate, using the Glacial Tomb, just to be able to do a lot of damage. And the rest of the bans, Elise is commonly banned just because she's got her spider form, she's got her human form, she's got a lot of AoE, not AoE damage, a lot of damage on a single target, and she can stick on an AD carry or a mid laner. The other big ban, I think, is the Thresh ban. Thresh, very, very versatile as a support. Basically, in my opinion, the most OP support at the moment. Just very good at using the Death Sentence, at using the Dark Passage. The box is a very good crowd area of effect, crowd control. I'm interested to see a Misfortune ban. Misfortune not commonly banned because she doesn't, unless someone plays her really well, late game she doesn't do a huge amount. Yes, you've got your bullet time, yes, you've got your auto attacks, but your range is quite short, and the bullet time, unless you get a good one across 2 or 3 squishy members of the team, you're not really going to do a lot against tanks with that.
Yeah, Misfortune, a bit of an odd ban in my opinion. I actually lied to you guys. The other stream is showing the other winners bracket semi-final, but we will be showing losers brackets after this game. The winners other semi-final between Manchester, our first seed, and Imperial, who I think are our fourth seed. So we have all of the seeds coming through where we expected them to. We see a Tristana and a Renekton being picked up here by FragSoc. Obviously, we've seen Renekton be very, very dominant in that top lane, and I think Tristana is a good pickup versus Caitlyn because obviously range versus range. Tristana eventually outranging that Caitlyn towards the late game, doing better because she has her attack speed steroid, rapid fire, which is her Q. Really gives her that big boost of attack speed. And once Tristana gets a red buff in late game, you can't really escape her. So yeah, really good pickup there from FragSoc against the Caitlyn. And actually, with the explosive shot now going up in range, she can do quite well. She's a bit of a lane bully, Tristana, from levels 1 to 4 really. She gets that power spike from her explosive shot. So yeah, it'll be great to see how this lane plays out. Interesting to see which supports are picked up. And that's a Kayle. Getting excited there. I was getting excited there. That would have been an interesting support pickup, or a mid laner though. We don't often see that Kayle picked up anymore, just because of the couple of nerfs that hit her. And that's a Janna and a Jarvan. I think I've seen a Jarvan in every game I have casted this today. So Jarvan, a popular pickup, but he has just switched to the Udyr. The Udyr was a very decent jungling pickup for ACOG in their last game. Shen hasn't been banned again, so we could see another Shen. Depends what FragSoc intend to do with their picks. If this is a Udyr, he did play it moderately well. Probably going to see him starting that Doran's Blade again, running for that Tiger Stance Udyr. He came into his own into that sort of mid-game role past sort of 25 minutes. He started doing that big single target damage with that Tiger Stance at level 5, and that is a Udyr. But then, if FragSoc picked up the Shen, he would have to go into the jungle because we have a Renekton. I'm just going to say there is no 720 at the moment, guys. It is because Twitch is experiencing the highest volume of viewers it has ever had. Since,
we did apologise to them for having that many viewers, that they've gone over their usual limits. So.
Yeah, we did. They've had because they're running the StarCraft and Dota 2 final. They're sort of experiencing high volume, so we've had to drop it down to 480 just so you guys can get a lag-free stream. Apologise that the quality won't be as good, but at least you won't have frames dropping here, there, and everywhere. And that is a Teemo troll. I'm hoping that's a troll because Teemo is a bit useless, and they are picking up the Shen. I thought they might. That was a good pick for them last time. And that could be a Kha'Zix mid lane. Shen was a good pickup for them last time, but Renekton does do okay versus him.
Yeah, I mean, Shen is very good just because of the Stan United. That's the main reason you pick him. You just want to get that long distance, be able to split push and be able to Stan United onto your AD carry, which is Caitlyn in this regard when she's getting dived on by the Renekton, by the Nautilus. You just want to be able to protect her and just keep someone safe. I mean, Kha'Zix pickup is quite interesting because they haven't actually picked the opposing mid laner yet. I mean, they have to... Oh, it's actually going to be a Rumble. Rumble, huge amount of damage in that top lane. Against the Renekton, it's going to be interesting to see if he can get those electric harpoons off and get enough damage down onto the Renekton, because Renekton has that inherent sustain with the cold and meek. So that's going to be an interesting top lane.
Yeah, and they pick up the RE. Very, very decent pickup. Her mobility is very potent, especially when you rush that Deathfire Grasp. Can really kick off all of her spells in one shot and burst most people down. Being told that Nyx RE is pretty awful, so we'll see if that is see if that's the truth. But we haven't talked about the Nautilus pickup. Nautilus is a very, very good early ganker, probably opposite to Yudir. He's got 4 forms of CC at level 6, which is the highest of any champion in the game, I think. So he really is that very good jungler. Can be countered pretty easily, so it'll be interesting to see if the Yudir does wander in with his Tiger Stance and gets a couple of counter off, because once you burst down that shield from Nautilus, he doesn't have any damage. That's where all of his damage comes from. So yeah, I think it'll be a interesting one here, because I don't see much synergy running in between with ACOG's team, but they were very strong in lane, so it doesn't know whether they're going to rely on too much synergy. There isn't much of a big team fight game for either team here. I mean, obviously Rumble's ultimate can come into it, but there's no big team fight ultimate, game-changing ultimates here. I mean, to be honest, I think FragSoc are running this pick off the squishy target, you know, get the Nautilus ultimate, get the depth charge onto a squishy. Ahri can rush in, Deathfire Grasp, and get all the damage down. Renekton sit there being the tank that he is, and I think that ACOG are running something fairly similar. Obviously, with the Yudir can run in, hit the target, get the Rumble ultimate down on the stun target. Kha'Zix there for the pick off. Very interesting. Yeah, so it'll be good. I'm just having a bit of an update for the second stream. Apparently, it's having a bit of trouble with Twitch still. Hopefully we'll be okay.
It's going to be interesting to see how FragSoc work this, because they've got the double hook comp, and yes, a nice hook from Nautilus into a really, like, you've got to hit the Blitzcrank hooks. If you don't hit those Blitzcrank hooks, the blue team are just going to be able to poke you from range. I mean, Tristana does have bigger range than Caitlyn in the late game, but what we've seen from ACOG is that they like to win mid-game. They'll get to around 10, 11 minutes, 12 minutes, and then they'll be like, okay, let's get some objectives. Let's get bot tower, let's get mid tower, and they really group up very well. Their team, as you said, they don't have that much synergy. Purple team have a lot better synergy. Ahri with the pulls from Nautilus and from Blitzcrank, and then Tristana being able to use that rocket jump if she gets the reset to jump around. It's going to be interesting to see how they do in a team fight, because the equalizer, as you said, is a big thing, but apart from that, there isn't that much synergy in ACOG.
Yeah, but ACOG do have that strong laning phase. They did really, really well. They did really, really well when it came to that sort of getting the CS advantage, and they really played their lane swaps really, really to their advantage this time. I'm not sure they're going to run for the lane swap this time. Janna, Caitlyn is more of a lane bully lane for the 2v2, but it would be interesting to see them go top, try and push down an early turret. With the changes though in 3.10, you will see that turrets are harder to push down at the start. Rumble is a good 2v1, you know, Rumble has that advantage of being a good 2v1 player, but Kha'Zix less so. He doesn't really have the same sort of survivability that Rumble does, doesn't have any sort of shields. He's only got the sustain from his void spikes. Obviously, when he's in melee range of his void spikes, he gets a percentage of his health back. Sorry, a little bit of health back, and based on the damage done. So yeah, I think if I'd be expecting to see a standard lane setup here from both teams. I don't think that Tristana is a very potent 2v1 laner. Her auto attacks do not do so much damage early on. She kind of relies on her abilities.
Mm-hmm.
The losers bracket should be getting streamed next game, guys. If you're asking about it, we were. Someone's just noticed what I said in chat.
Well, if you let me just take over for a minute, I'll just talk
run.
about it a little bit. What I think is going to be really interesting in this is the bot lane matchups, because we've got the Caitlyn versus the Janna and the Blitzcrank versus the Tristana. Blitzcrank has taken Ignite, so he's going for a very heavy. He's investing a lot into the fact that he's going to be able to hit a pull on either the Caitlyn or the Janna. Caitlyn does have her 90 caliber net to try and get out. Janna doesn't have that many escapes, but she does have the passive movement speed buff. So if we don't see that many pulls from the Blitzcrank, there's not going to be a lot happening in that lane, and Caitlyn could get ahead with her superior range early game. It's also interesting to see that there's a Ghost here out of Udyr as opposed to the Flash which he took in the last game. I don't think that the Flash really did that much for him. He sort of got a couple of ganks off with it, like managed just to get close enough to Flash, but I think what he's realised is that Ghost is so much more effective at just being able to traverse the map quickly and get past the wards and into a lane, just ghosting in and able to get that bear stance and get that stun off on a squishy AD carry. Like Tristana, if she's used her rocket jump to engage, she doesn't really have an escape and she's quite slow. Blitzcrank, he has got that speedo, his W, just to be able to get out of fights. But I could see Udyr ganking bot quite a lot in this game, just because of the Ignite on the Blitzcrank.
I'm just jump back into here. Blitzcrank does have the Ignite. He will be looking probably to get some early kills off onto Caitlyn, who's picked up the barrier. If they can burn that barrier early on, that'll be good for FragSoc. So yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that FragSoc will be aggressive at these laning phases, because I think that they need to be to transition into this mid game well. I think in terms of sort of team fight presence, I think FragSoc does have that more synergy, but they have the ability to go a bit awry if they get behind in lanes. If they're aggressive and take some early kills, which with these Summoner spells I'll be hoping they would be, if they sort of take these early kills, I'm hoping that they'll transition into that mid game and be able to sort of fight up against the sort of big team fight presence that that ACOG has with that Rumble's Equalizer, because Equalizer can change most fights, hence the name of it. It tries to equal out the fight. But yeah, I mean, in terms of level 1, I mean, we're going to be heading into games soon. Do you think we're going to see anything level 1 come out? With a Blitzcrank, you almost certainly always do.
Yeah, I mean, the obvious level 1 is for Blitzcrank to try and go across towards the blue and try and steal that blue away. It's interesting to see what happens at level 1, just because Blitzcrank has got his hook and you've got Tristana there with, if you rocket jump, you can get the resets, and that is quite a lot of damage at level 1. Janna can take the Howling Gale, you can get a 90 caliber net out of Caitlyn. It'll be interesting just to see what happens. A nice charm as well from Ari might lead to something. So just
yeah, and obviously they're not
team names here.
It's okay. And obviously the Nautilus passive, which is Staggering Blow, can sort of snare a target for 0.5 seconds. That is quite good in terms of it can sort of like burn flashes. People can get a bit scared. It also puts people in place for the Ari Charm, for the Ruthless Predator from the Renekton, and the Blitzcrank hook. So it's a fairly good skill to have. Nautilus has not yet taken an ability, so he could be saving his abilities for that dredge line. Blitzcrank a little bit slow off the mark right there. The rest of his team was sitting around in river for a couple of seconds while Blitzcrank was a bit slow buying.
Looks like Ari is going to go up here towards the red buffer. Blitzcrank might be going for this hook across the wall, but there's no one in that bush. He's going to hook, misses, no vision, half his mana gone, and Captain Milkbeard must retreat.
Captain Milkbeard, what a brilliant name. Udyr starting that Doran's Blade again, so he's looking to go to that Tiger Stance Udyr, looking for that big single target damage, maybe even moving into Nautilus's jungle looking for a counter gang, but Nautilus looks like he's going for his red buff.
Yeah, I mean, Nautilus, Udyr is going to grab his red buff. Nautilus looks like he's going to go back towards the blue buff here. Nautilus without blue buff is quite hard. Udyr can do either buff to start with. It depends on how he's going to play the lane, really. Like he hasn't leveled up a skill, so I can't tell you if he's going to go Phoenix. He didn't go Phoenix last game. He went Tiger, so it'll be interesting just to see if he decides to go Phoenix for that early damage, or if he goes for the Tiger and just goes for that mid-game damage, which he did before.
He's just leveled up that Tiger stance. With the Doran's Blade start, it makes more sense to go Tiger. You get more damage off from the Doran's Blade. Phoenix, though, he did completely ignore Phoenix stance last time, so he basically leveled up his Tiger and then leveled up that leveled up that Bear stance. So he went sort of 5 points in Tiger and then chose to level up the Bear stance afterwards, which a lot of UDs do with the Boots of Swiftness. No lane swaps, like I said, so I think we were right in calling that. They just wanted to go their standard lanes. I think getting a hook onto the Caitlyn early will be very beneficial for the Tristana. With that Ignite, they're obviously going to be a bit more of a lane bully-ish type lane. Caitlyn not looking to bully out the Tristana early, waiting for those headshots. Oh, and Blitzcrank missing a hook.
I'm going to be interested to see what happens in this mid lane, really. I mean, Ari versus Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix doesn't have the range, and we've got a pause coming out here. Hopefully we'll be able to rectify this. Not quite sure what's going on.
Yeah, we'll let you know. I think the pause came out from ACOG. I think there might have been a bit of a lag issue from Defunct, who is the ACOG AD carry. So yeah, I mean, top lane, I expect Rumble to beat the Renekton. I mean, he should do anyway. I mean, Rumble has that big sustained damage, whereas Renekton's got these long cooldowns where he has to get all of his burst off. Rumble can escape with Electro Harpoon and Scrap Shield. Obviously, Scrap Shield giving him that slight movement speed bonus. Electro Harpoon slowing down the enemy. But Renekton and Nautilus work very well together. They can chain CC, chain their stuns and snares. And Rumble doesn't really have that much of an escape. Scrap Shield only providing a small movement speed increase. It's beneficial in lane, but from getting away from a gap, it's not really like a big gap closer. And Ari versus Kha'Zix. Ari, the thing is, the way that Kha'Zix is now, his Void Spikes aren't the sort of evolution of choice anymore. People tend to evolve the wings or the claws first. What do you think is going to happen here? Do you think Ari should be able to bully out this Kha'Zix, because obviously he won't have that long range poke from the Void Spikes anymore?
I think Ari should win the lane. I play Ari is my mid laner. I'm not good at her, but if I get forced into mid lane, she's who I play. And your Orb of Deception and your Foxfire do so much damage. If you manage to get that proc where you get the true damage on the way back from Orb of Deception, you can bully out pretty much anyone in lane. And that's the whole point of Ari. If you get that, you get a Deathfire Grasp. You've got so much mobility. If Kha'Zix tries to use his jump to try and get away, you can just rush after him, get a charm off, and you can melt him. I think that Ari's going to win the lane. If Kha'Zix roams well, that's going to be where the difference is made. I think Kha'Zix might have already said, I think Ari's going to win this lane, and I'll just let her win it.
Yeah, and we have another game on stream 2 for you guys. I think that should be going live fairly soon. That's the other Winners Bracket semi-final between Manchester and I think it's Imperial. After this, we'll be streaming the Losers Bracket game, so don't worry, we'll be giving some love to the losers. Still have a bit of a pause coming out here though, so obviously it's a bit of a serious DC for the AD carry of the blue side, so that's from ACOG. But yeah, like you're saying, I think Ari should win the lane. I think she has the better kit to bully out a melee champion who is completely reliant on melee right now. Yeah, so I mean, I think Defunct's back in the game, so we should be getting ready to go fairly soon. Do you think that the Blitzcrank lane is going to do well here? Do you think that they're going to try and go really hard? I mean, he did miss that first hook, and Caitlyn did get a bit of free damage onto the Blitz.
I think it does depend on hooks, really. If the Blitzcrank manages to hit a hook, I mean, he's already on half mana, which is going to be a major thing. Blitzcrank needs to hit a hook. If they hit a hook, they can win the game. If they don't hit a hook, I can see Caitlyn Janna just doing so well, because you've got the shields and you've got just that extra damage coming out from a long-range Caitlyn early game.
Yeah, no, I do agree. And I think Tristana, especially with her big early game presence that she has, can do well against the Caitlyn if they get the hook.
Udyr actually coming in for a gank here top lane. Renekton's going to use the slice. He's going to be able to get away. Rumble decided to farm as the Udyr was going there. Udyr getting the bear stance. Bear stance stun comes out. Here comes Rumble coming across. Flash in, ignite, Electro Harpoon misses. So does the second one. I don't think this ignite's going to be enough to take down Renekton. He's on hardly any health, but no, he survives. That health pot just keeping him alive.
Renekton really wanting to leave the flash to the last minute there. Had the health pot ticking over, only healing him for half because of the ignite, but that half was just enough to save his life. Blitzcrank just missing a hook in the bot lane, but that will give Rumble the level advantage right now, and Rumble with a level advantage is a scary prospect.
But he doesn't have his Ignite. Charm actually lands on Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix jumping into this, getting lots of damage down on Ari. Ignite comes down, Ari has to flash away. This is interesting. I think Kha'Zix, if he plays it right, might actually beat Ari before 6.
Yeah, and I think it's just a case of Ari playing it wrong. I think she got too close there. She should have kept her distance with the skill. She needs to poke Kha'Zix down to a low HP so that he can get in, jump in, and then do the damage. I think coming in close to him, once the challenge ended, he's just going to run at you because obviously you're isolated at that point. And isolation for Kha'Zix is a big thing. He can do a lot of damage. Renekton just being bullied out of the lane quite well by this.
Coming in here behind this Caitlyn. Is this going to be enough here? Going in, the tornado hits there. Nautilus gets the dredge line down onto this Caitlyn. Here comes Tristana with the rocket jump. Blitzcrank's coming in as well. His close shot goes on the Caitlyn. And a nice flash there away from Janna. But Ken is going to turn this around. Udyr's coming in from the side. There's a ward in that bush. Blitzcrank gets caught on that trap. Another trap goes down into the bush. Udyr coming through this bot lane. Bush. It might be interesting to see if Nautilus stays around. He's stepped on a trap and it looks like he's going to back off. Udyr's going to come up towards the top side of this bush. If he can sneak into that second one, they might be able to get enough damage down. I think Nautilus might be coming round the side. But they know there's a pink ward in there.
Yeah, and really I think this is going to be a big counter gank here right now. Caitlyn on low HP.
Here comes Nautilus coming in from the side. Udyr's still in that bush. Nautilus taking lots of damage. That shield goes down. Caitlyn gets hooked there. Lots of damage go down. Ignite, rocket jump. Barrier comes out. Nice flash there from ghost there from Udyr. Udyr gets the kill onto the Tristana. Blitzcrank's going to go lowest here. Bear stance hits. Nautilus stepped on a trap during this whole time. Janna's going to get this. The movement speed from this Janna passive might be enough. Here comes Bear. Howling Gale comes out. Udyr gets another kill. This Nautilus might go really low for Caitlyn. Caitlyn might take a tower shot. No, she just manages to be out of tower range.
Wow. Action going on in the bot lane with a counter gank from the Udyr. He was sitting there patiently. He knew he was going to do more damage than the Nautilus 1v1, and that's exactly what he did. Tristana just got a little bit too aggressive right there. She thought Ignite, Explosive Shot and Rocket Jump combo would be enough to take Caitlyn down, but Caitlyn still had Barrier. She still had the Janna shield. They tanked up all of that damage, and Caitlyn sitting there pretty. And Udyr took the kill. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's 2 kills for Udyr. That's going to make him a very, very scary Udyr right now, especially since he's leveling up Tiger Stance. He's going to be walking in, hitting that Tiger Stance into people and doing incredible amounts of damage. That is going to be burning people, half people's HP, you know, getting towards level 6, getting towards the max levels of that Tiger Stance. Not many people from FragSoc are going to be safe.
Yeah.
And we have Tristana coming into the bot lane. She is back before Caitlyn. She is currently even on CS.
Oh, actually, are we getting engaged here by the Kha'Zix? Kha'Zix uses that invisible feather to try and get away. Renekton and Rumble fighting it on top lane. Renekton getting a couple of Electro Harpoons to the face. Oh, he actually uses her Spirit Rush to try and get in, but misses there on the Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix had to use Flash to dodge the charm.
Brilliant flash from Kha'Zix right there. Ari got her Spirit Rush. She just jumped in. She just had the mana to go and get him. She tried to Orbit Deception to get the kill. Kha'Zix jumped out of it.
Nautilus coming in here top lane onto this Rumble. Rumble uses the Equalizer. He's standing on it himself, but the other two are just like, no, we'll just hang out over here for a second. Renekton might go down. Nice dredge line there by the Nautilus. Renekton's going to go down to Flame Spinner. Is this enough? He's overpowered. Oh no, Renekton just gets the damage. The Rumble went into his overload there and wasn't able to cast any more skills, so wasn't able to get the damage down.
That was very, very close. Rumble hit his overheat just at the last moment. Renekton with the Cola Meek right at the exact moment that he needed it. He culled Rumble, took away his health and kept himself alive. And that is a kill for Renekton. He's picked up that Null Magic Mantle. He's working towards that Hex Drinker, looking to sort of barrier out a bit of the damage from the Rumble in that top lane. Rumble has that Doran shield, looking towards that Haunting Guise for the magic penetration. I think this is going to work in Renekton's favour now, because Rumble is that lane bully, but Renekton needs to get the edge to be able to sort of slice and dice in without knowing he's going to trade in his favour, because once you get in close to a Rumble, if you start to run away, he's just going to run after you with Flame Spitter.
Yeah, I mean, as much as I liked the equaliser there, it was a good choice. It wasn't really positioned that well. The other two could just stand on the other side of the lane, wait for it to expire, and then Renekton, yes, maybe got a bit lucky with the overheat timing, but used that Coldemic really well just to be able to survive the fight.
Yeah, I mean, Rumble's flash was off cooldown. I think he knew he wasn't going to survive that gank, so he tried to play it in his favour. He stuck the equaliser on himself, thinking that Nautilus and Renekton would just come after him, and they would stand on the equaliser, and maybe he'd get some damage off from the fact that it does its bigger amount of damage over time right now. But Renekton and Nautilus, not that stupid. They knew that Rumble had nowhere to go, and so they just stood there and said, well, we'll wait for your equaliser to go down, and then we'll kill you, and that's exactly what happened. Rumble, playing it really well though, took Renekton right to the edge. Could have gone either way, to be honest, but just went in Renekton's favour, which might even just give him the edge. Bot lane, despite being
looks like
down
might be
kills,
Geisha actually. Blitzcrank missing the hook. Nice hand and gale there from the Janna just to keep him away. And Caitlyn taken low with that explosive shot, but she has got double door and she can just steal off these minions a little bit.
yeah, it's looking fairly even. Yulia did take the kills in bot lane, so it hasn't given any part of the lane a specific advantage. Although Caitlyn is now 20 CS up on the Tristana, looking to exert that lane bully.
Oh, nice hook here onto the Caitlyn. Caitlyn might go down. Ignite goes down. The jump from Tristana was interrupted by the Howling Gale, so she just did a nice little vertical leap. She could go for the Olympics with that.
I'll give you that one. And so yeah, but I think the Ignite from Blitz maybe wasn't the best pick here. Thinking about it in a bit more detail, you obviously have the Janna shield and the barrier. Ignite and barrier share a similar cooldown in terms of summoner spell cooldowns, and the Janna shield obviously has a tiny cooldown. So the Ignite can just be sort of eaten up by barrier and Janna shield. So I think almost Exhaust would have been a better pickup here. Maybe they were hoping to get the early kill, and that's where it would have been most useful. Get that early kill and advantage. But who knows? I mean, it's hard to say now. Ahri and Nautilus walking into Jarvan's side of the jungle. Are they going? It
looks like they might be coming bot lane for this gank. I mean, the Nautilus has been hooked onto this lane for the entire game. We'll be able to see if they come round the side here. It looks like they're going to. Caitlyn's going to get engaged upon. Dredgeline coming out. There's the depth charge onto Caitlyn as well. Blitzcrank coming in. Nice spirit rush there. Blitzcrank tries to hook his own team member. That was interesting, and the army is going to die because she just spirit rushed within tower range for the entire time. Karzik's coming down as well. Is Karzik going to be able to get the kill? Nice kill there up on the next, and Karzik's coming in from the side, uses those Void Spike. It's going to be enough damage. No, he hits the Nautilus there with the ace in the hole. Oh, Nautilus might go down to Ignite. Nautilus goes down. Nice little Void Spikes there right at the end there by the Karziks. And Nautilus hooks to the lane, has now died in the lane.
Oh my lord, that was a terrible gank from FragSoc right there. Ahri, spirit rushing in, just staying in turret aggro range the entire time. Should have switched turret aggro, should have given it to someone else so she wouldn't have died. And to be honest, they just missed most of their skill shots. Caitlyn just walked through that turret range. Nautilus missed his hook, Ahri missed the charm. It was just a poor execution from FragSoc. I liked the idea, wards were down. I liked the sort of, yeah, I like the idea behind it, but I just think the execution was pretty poor.
Yeah, I mean, you say it yourself, like, she spirit rushed under the tower, her Orb of Deception missed, like, it was deceiving in the fact that it missed everyone, her charm missed everyone as well, and, like, I don't want to say it was awful play, but it was pretty awful play in all honesty.
Yeah, and that was a situation where they should have secured 2 kills for their team. They're already behind on gold, about 3.3k, something like that. And maybe this guy's Ahri player is exactly what the people said in chat. But he looks like he's going for that Zhonya's first. I would have gone personally for the Deathfire Grasp. It's so potent with the Ahri ability to spam all of her skills in such a short period of time. Renekton looks like he's engaging onto the Rumble right now.
Lots of action going down to top lane. I mean, it's just been trade after trade. Actually, Karzik's jumping in mid lane as well. Lots of damage coming down here. Renekton might go down in the top lane, uses that dominance. Equalizer comes out, but again, probably not the best position. I mean, this might be enough damage here from the Rumble to take him down. Gone into overheat, Flame Splitters out. He's going back round. Nautilus is actually coming in here. Naughty Boy trying to sneak in. Blitzcrank hooks hits in the bottom lane. Is this going to be enough damage? Rocket Jump might come out from Tristana. No, there's just a heal. Renekton going back in on the Rumble. Udyr and Nautilus have come in, and they just see each other like, nope, nope, fuck off, no, I'm leaving. So they just run away. Karzik's coming round to the race. It looked like he was going to go top lane there for a second. He might be just baiting out this Ahri a little bit.
Yeah, and Rumble, I think, positioned the equalizer so that he...
Another
there's
pause coming out here.
Yeah, and it's another pause from ACOG. I think that Rumble... positioned the equalizer so that Renekton wouldn't be able to escape, and he thought that he may have the damage to take him down. Slight miscalculation. Renekton managed to survive all the damage he could put out, and unfortunately he just had a pointless equalizer, sectioning off Renekton from the lane, but really doing nothing in favour for his damage output right there. So yeah, I mean, what have you seen so far from ACOG that you're liking? Because it looks like they're sort of pulling out similar moves that they did last game.
I think the major thing that they've done is they've ganked well. What's happened for FragSoc is their ganks have just been a bit disjointed. Like, they've gone in for the Caitlyn. She's used 90 caliber and net to get away. There's been no charm hitting. There's been no blitzcrank hitting, and it's just there's a lot more synergy within ACOG than there is within FragSoc, and I think that's what we saw in the last game as well. ACOG were just a bit better at coordinating how they worked as a team.
Yeah, and their laning phase is overall just that bit slicker than FragSoc right now, and that's what we said they needed. They needed this big laning phase because unfortunately their team fight wasn't as potent as the FragSoc team. So with this, I mean, Rumble hasn't actually got any kills on
it's
him.
engaged coming in here top from Nautilus. He uses that depth charge. Renekton's going to go in. Uja's about full health and Renekton's quite low, and they're just going to have to back away. That's basically an ultimate just wasted there.
Well, that's a 3-for-0 Uda. Do you really think you're going to be getting a kill with the Renekton?
Oh, Blitzcrank hopefully it lands on the Caitlyn. Caitlyn's going to be taken very low. Exhaust goes down on the Tristana. Rocket jump. Is this going to be enough damage? She uses the barrier there. She might survive. Oh, the shield there from Janna's going to save the Caitlyn's life. Tristana's still chasing this down. I don't know if she's going to be able to make it. She's not. They turn on Janna. She probably should have turned a bit earlier. Janna might actually be able to take this Tristana down. She uses the barrier there, but she's going to go very low. Caitlyn coming in from the side, getting some damage down onto this Blitzcrank. Blitzcrank is toddling away like he would as like a little penguin. He's just going to be able to get out of there using that speed up. And I think Tristana probably should have turned on the Janna a bit quicker than that.
I bet Blitzcrank wishes he was rolling right then, because he needed to get away pretty quickly. But yeah, so all in all, I think if Tristana had blown her ult earlier, she may have been able to kill the Caitlyn, but Caitlyn had time to react, hit the barrier, and unfortunately, when Tristana tried to put out her ultimate, she unfortunately didn't have the damage, and just actually ended up hitting Caitlyn away to safety. Tristana obviously not really the way she wanted to play that, and unfortunately just playing in favour of ACOG, because they've just picked up a free turret and unfortunately had to sacrifice nothing for it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm blown away by this Janna's play. She's just been really good with getting those shields on, getting the Howling Gales out, just being able to protect this Caitlyn really well. And it's shown Caitlyn's 40 CS ahead in farm, and they're just really winning that lane.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say Tristana was particularly explosive with that play either. So hopefully we'll see a little bit more coordination between FragSoc's team. Janna looking like she's warding up for Dragon. She doesn't got a pink ward on it, but Blitzcrank knows they're there. Udyr with Tiger Stance can really claw down that Dragon with his Doran's build. He's obviously got the Dorans and he's building towards the tank, and he's got Pilt to belong to it as well, so it's not like he's doing no damage right now. I don't know if
Udy's actually going to start this up. It's be interesting to see if he's able to get it without this Blitzcrank being able to do anything. Nautilus is actually in top lanes, and they know that. Ignite comes down here on the Rumble. This is going to be enough damage. Beautiful equalizer there. That's really equalised this engagement. Dominus comes out there from Renekton. Looks like Nautilus is going to have to use the death charge. Rumble's running back towards the red side turret here. He might be able to get away. If he flashes across this wall, it would be beautiful. Nice flash there. That equalizer really equalised the engagement there, and it looks like Udyr managed to get the Dragon.
Come on, sorry, that was the same pun in one engagement.
Sorry, okay, I forget what I say.
But yeah, no, I mean, it was a nice equaliser from Rumble there, and and to be fair, he could have come out. It could have gone worse for him. And to be honest, I think Renekton needed that kill to sort of push himself a little bit further in, but we have engaged coming out bot lane.
Yeah, I mean, there's just some consistent damage coming out here bot lane. I'm going to stop with the puns now, so we'll go for some normal. Renekton actually getting taken very low. He uses the flash bear starts, comes out here from Udyr. Udyr's going to get this kill. Nice kill there from Udyr. He's just on a rampage, 4-0, and Udyr are going back to base.
Yeah, well, Yude has picked up that spirit of the Ancient Golem. He's also working towards that Blade of the Rune King. With the Tiger Stance leveled, going towards that level 5 Tiger Stance, that's going to be doing some insane damage. He'll also have the active to be able to chase down most people on the FragSoc team. Even when Tristana managed to use her rocket jump. Oh, and there's an engagement.
Oh, engage here. Kha'Zix going onto this Ari. It looks like there's going to be some damage coming down. Nice ultimate. Oh, Blitzcrank hook there. Lands onto Caitlyn, and it's Hook City. Nautilus is there as well. Nautilus gets that kill. And there's a dredge line coming down, hits onto the Janna. Rumble actually tanking a tower. It looks like he's DC'd here. He's going to die to tower. Maybe he DC'd. I have to assume it. Yeah, he's left the game. And there's not a pause coming out here from either team.
Oh, there is a pause now. It looks like we're having some connection problems with the ACOG team. Apologise for the apologise for the pun city we've been throwing in, and we've had a bit of a challenge between ourselves to see how many puns we could fit into one game. But yeah, I mean, I like that one coming out from the Twitch chat. It's more like oh dear, but yeah, Udyr doing really well here. Probably one of the most fed on his team in terms of overall gold. I'll just update you on that specifically. Yeah, Udyr sitting on almost the most gold in the team. Just Caitlyn and Kha'Zix being fairly level with him. Kha'Zix is sitting on 2.2k gold though. He could go back and finish any of his items. It looks like he's building towards a Hex Drinker. Fairly good pickup for someone who's playing against an AP laner. On the other hand, the most fed person on FragSoc happens to be the Ari. She looks like she's farming quite well with 147 farm, but not actually out farming the melee champion, not doing what we thought she would do, which would be winning the lane against the melee champion. Looks like Rumble's reconnected and we're going to be getting back into game. We've just got to wait for teams to ready up.
Yeah, I mean, I like the hooks out of this Blitzcrank, but they haven't really got a huge amount of it. He's hit a couple of good ones, but the Janna disengage with Monsoon and with the tornadoes as well just allowed this Caitlyn to escape in most situations.
Yeah, Janna is really doing quite well, like you said, being blown away by her play there. And she's heading back into lane. Caitlyn is currently dead, isn't she, from that last engagement? Completely forgot what happened. Rumble also dead from that tower, suiciding to tower. Luckily no gold going over unfairly to FragSoc right there, so no harm done really, just sort of puts him out a little bit of lane. So yeah, I mean, to be honest, if FragSoc can delay this, they've got the better late game team in my opinion, because they have the nice tank, that two tanky frontliners. They've got Tristana who can sit at the back with that really incredible range. She's gone for 3 Dorans. So
she wasn't very far behind in lane. I think she's just trying to get herself to that late game. She was around 40 CS behind before, now she's only 20.
Yeah, she's picked up the BF sword, but Caitlyn has already finished her Infinity Edge. She's going to be doing a high amount of damage with her auto attacks. Yude running into mid lane. Looks like they're going to want to defend this mid tower turret. There's 3 of FragSoc here. Blitzcrank, Nautilus, and Ari all looking to push forward, but then they're just backing off now. Renekton walking down though. Looks like all 5 of them grouping up in this mid lane.
It's interesting because we've seen ACOG taking a lot of earlier towers in their position. Dredgeline comes out, just misses the Kha'Zix there, and they've taken bot tower, so Caitlyn's able to roam up towards this mid. Be interesting to see if FragSoc decide to deliberately keep putting 5 people mid lane just to counter this mid push that's going to come out from ACOG.
Yeah, but bot lane is pushing in favour of ACOG right now, and it's going to cause a bit of problems. I think Tristana's seen that and she's heading down there to deal with it. There are no wards on that side of the river for ACOG, but Kha'Zix is moving down as well.
It's going to be interesting to see what really happens. Kha'Zix can definitely 1v1 Tristana at this phase, but with her rocket jump, if he uses his jump a bit too early, she can just rocket jump out. He's actually coming in bot lane. We're going to see what's happening here. Looks like he's just going to be able to get around. He hasn't been spotted. He uses that stealth. There comes the void spikes. Oh, nice Buster shot, and you, Buster, are getting nowhere near me in this game. That was really nicely done from the Tristana. I don't know how she got vision. She must have just heard the sound effect there from the Kha'Zix.
No. What had happened was Kha'Zix just pressed his ultimate a second too late. He just revealed himself, and you saw the particle effect as he was leaving the bush. You can see like a sort of a dark sphere.
Death Chart's coming out here onto Caitlyn. Udyr goes onto the Blitzcrank, lots of damage coming down. Ari misses the charm and uses that Spirit Rush. And that's a dead Caitlyn. That was really nicely done. Looks like they're going to continue to engage in mid lane, but Nexon's also engaging in top. Is this going to be enough damage? Oh, Ari's Spirit Rush is out, and Kha'Zix has just actually been pushing this top lane for the entire bottom lane for the entire time. It looks like the FragSoc team are going to try and gather around him. Blitzcrank and Nautilus going across, but he might be able to back just before they get anywhere near it.
Yeah, and blue is up for FragSoc right now. I'm going to hand that over to the Ari, I think. Still no kills going down for the Tristana. She kind of needs some right now. But then again, all the kills for FragSoc are on the Udyr. So it'll be. It's not the most ideal
Dominus actually used
situation.
top lane here by Renekton. He's going to go on this Rumble. Is it going to be enough damage? No, he uses that scrap metal shield. Just able to get away. Flame Splitter comes back. I mean, that guy's just rumbling all over the place.
Not sure that was a pun, but whatever.
There's a rumble as he attacks. No, okay. Anyway, Janna coming in top lane uses that shield. Flame Splitter coming out onto the Renekton. Renekton uses the slice to get away, but here's Howling Gale. Is this Renekton going to have to turn and fight? Exhaust comes down. He hasn't got flash up at the moment. He has got his Ignite though. Here comes another shield, and it looks like Equalizer coming down on the tower. Renekton not standing on that. Ignite comes down onto this Rumble. Janna's not going to be able to do that by herself. Ignite's down on the Renekton as well. Here comes the Nautilus. Is he going to be able to land anything here? Oh, Kha'Zix's getting caught out by the Ari and the Blitzcrank. Kha'Zix goes invisible. Nice hook there on the invisibility. Kha'Zix flashes over the wall. Ari flashes in return. Gets the kill. I'm not sure if she had that already with the Ignite. Udyr going in on this Tristana in bottom lane. Here comes the Bear Sons. Caitlyn looks like this might be a dead Tristana. Udyr gets the kill. Nautilus is back in top lane. Are they going to engage on this tower? It might just take it down. Rumble and Janna are going to back away wisely. Janna has no mana. Can't protect that at all.
Yeah, and that was a crazy series of engagements right there. We saw that Udyr and Caitlyn took out the Tristana in bot lane. Udyr just running her down with the bear stance, and Caitlyn just finishing off.
Actually, Udyr engaging here on the Ari. Ari having to use Spirit Rush to try and get away. And like, that Udyr can decimate anyone on this red team at the moment.
Well, Ari had to be in a rush right there because Udyr is looking incredible right now, and hopefully we're gearing up for some 5v5 team fights right here, because I think this is where FragSoc's strength is going to lie. They're not too far behind. Well, 4K, it's not that bad. If they can get some good team fights in here, they can really swing and pick up some global objectives for themselves. They are currently even in turrets, however, so yeah, I think it's 1-for-1. They're currently even in turrets, however, so there are going to be no global lapses.
Nautilus here in the mid lane. I used the old reception, but isn't actually going to go in on that Kha'Zix. She saw that there were 3 other people there. 2 other people.
Yeah, there'll be no global lapses in gold, but they are going for another dragon for ACOG right now. They're really pushing on these timed global objectives. Dragon has been up for a little bit, so they didn't time it exactly. It wasn't quite the right time for them then, but they've just picked it up again, and that's another chunk of gold going in favour of ACOG and pushing themselves further ahead. Really, really pushing towards a 5k gold advantage at 22 minutes. This could be...
FragSoc have been able to take a tower for that, though, so it's pretty even trade, for honesty.
Yeah, but FragSoc are still sitting about 4k gold behind, and to be fair, when ACOG group up and look to get turrets, they'll be pushing themselves even further ahead. ACOG have really won out the laning phase, which is what they needed to do with their team comp. They needed to win the laning phase because that's where they were going to be useful.
I am a bit worried about the Udyr having the majority of kills. I mean, yes, Udyr's very strong, he can do a lot in fights, but not having them on Caitlyn, not having them on Kha'Zix as much, Rumble especially. Rumble, if you get him ahead, he just destroys teams with that equalizer. But he's not going to just be able to go through the team in the way that he'd like to at the moment, with not having the rest of his Haunting guys building up to the Leandries, not having the Hextech Gunblade, and not having his Rhylights either. It looks like Udyr's going to come in this top lane onto the Renekton. Renekton still has Slice and Dice up. Is he going to be able to get away? Slices. He's going to try and get out to this wall so he can dice away. Here comes Bear Stance. He barely misses it, so he flashes across. He wasn't able to get away from that Udyr there.
Yeah, I mean, Udyr has just picked up a Shirelias, so he really wants to run down these people. He wants to be charging in with that bear stance on that Shirelias.
Death Charge coming out here onto Caitlyn. Caitlyn using 90 caliber net. Spirit Rush comes in. The charm misses again. Needed an earlier charm, and the Blitzcrank hook hits there. This Ari just has not been charming this game.
No, she hasn't indeed, and Caitlyn just getting away with that 50 caliber net. Blitzcrank missing his hook as well. So, we've got a Udyr picking up that Shirelias. He's popped it to try and get into that team fight. He's actually got a level 5 bear stance right now. He hasn't finished up his boots or his Blade of the Ruined King, so he's not going to be doing too much damage. But
Udyr actually catching out the Renekton going very low. Nice grab down to Janna, but Janna's not the target you want to get. It's Rumble tanking the turret. Rumble might go down to turret shots here. Tristana jumping into the Janna, uses her rocket jump to get out as well, and the Kha'Zix going to go down. Ari's gone down to Kha'Zix in the midst of all of this, Renekton going down onto the Caitlyn. Caitlyn's going to use her barrier, she might be able to get out. Tristana on like 2 health, and Rumble comes in with the flames, but it gets the kill. It's Udyr and Rumble versus Blitzcrank and Nautilus. Rumble using the scrap shield to get away, and Udyr's just going to be able to finish this up, or it's Nautilus going to be able to pull him into tower, and I don't know what's happening. My voice is getting progressively louder, so I'm going to stop talking.
Yeah, okay. So what happened there was a very, very nice 5v5 engage for FragSoc. They needed that. They needed to sort of go even in a team fight to know that they could compete. To be honest, they forgot about the fact that Udyr was 5-0. They let him just go to town on everybody in their back lines. Tristana jumping in with that rocket jump to try and take the kill on the Janna, jumping out, but unfortunately put herself in the firing line and ended up going down. Caitlyn stuck in the mix of things though. She wasn't too far out of the team fight, which is not where the Caitlyn wants to be really. Equalized doesn't really do that much that fight either. Being a bit unequal in terms of his placements really. Ari again missing a lot of her skill shots, but did get the charm onto the Janna, which actually eventually led to her death. Janna didn't actually manage to get out her ultimate that fight, so she has got it left up this fight. Not even sure what Kha'Zix did that fight. Didn't really see him perform too much, but he is 2 for 2 for 2. Yeah, so Rumble actually heading towards that Sunfire Cape. He hasn't actually finished up either things with his Haunting Guys or his Hextech Revolver, so it'll be weird to see what he's actually trying to build.
I mean, the Kha'Zix did manage to get the kill on the Ari in that fight, and that's kind of his objective. If he can get a kill on either the AP or the AD carry, try and jump out again. I mean, it's under tower, so it's going to be difficult to do it. Caitlyn getting a lot of damage down onto this Ari in mid lane. She's got that Infinity Edge, she's got the Zeo looking to go towards that static shiv. It's going to be interesting to see how team fights go from now, because it's quite even. There's a 4,000 gold lead for ACOG, but I think if they're under tower, FragSoc can win engages.
Yeah, and I think they can too, and I think they've got the stronger team fight. With the AP from Ari, obviously AP is really strong in the mid game compared to the AD of Kha'Zix. Rumble isn't particularly building heavy AP. He's going for a sort of a tanky Rumble build because Udyr has sort of branched out into a slightly off tank build.
Caitlyn coming in for the gank top lane. Are they going to be able to get enough damage on this next? He uses that Dominus really early. He's going to try and dominate this fight. Comes, jumps in. There's the equalizer. Really nice placement there. Ignite goes down. Here comes the flame spitter, and Hex Drinker activates, but Kha'Zix manages just to secure that kill.
I tell you what, Kha'Zix really tasted his fear right there. That was a brilliant...
And Nautilus coming in with the death charge onto the Rumble. Spirit Rush comes out. Here's the charm. Hits the charm. And that Rumble is obviously very attracted to Ari. Nice flash there. Death charge comes out. Dredge line comes out. The hook comes out from Blitzcrank. And he's missed a lot of hooks today.
Yeah, but in the meantime...
2 towers in mid lane for 1 kill.
Yeah, meantime, like 2 towers for ACOG. That's a bunch of global gold going in their favour. And Janna actually picking up the Morellonomicon. I was about to say Morello's Evil Tome, that's its old name. So she's looking to go for sort of a semi-AP build. I mean, you see a lot of Jannas do that these days, made famous by Dignitas, but Dignitas ran Janna with Teleport. They were running that sort of heavy split push, heavy CS Janna, so I'm not sure how a random Morellonomicon is going to be too in favour of ACOG, but to be fair, Udyr did pick up the Shurelias, which would be considered the usual support item. But we are heading towards this late game sort of area. I know that Caitlyn is 1 item ahead of Tristana, but Tristana is level 15. She will have a higher range than Caitlyn right now. You let Tristana get any further, she'll be heading into that sort of ridiculous range that she gets towards her level 18. She's currently sitting on 500 gold and is only about 1.5k behind Caitlyn. So if Tristana looks to sort of flesh out her late game build, I mean, this could go in favour of ACOG, and I think that favour of FragSoc. I think that ACOG aren't playing this to their advantage by stalling it. I don't think stalling it is in their favour, and Rumble just finishing up that Sunfire Cape, and he looks like he may be going towards the Leandries now.
I think the problem for FragSoc there was there were 5 people based around Dragon for ACOG, and there were only 4 people because Renekton was top for FragSoc, so they've given up 3 dragons this game, and I'd really like to see them try just to get a bit more control over that dragon area.
Yeah, they need to get control on these global objectives, because unfortunately it's not doing them any favours to just let them go. Giving up global objectives like Dragon is gold that can't be reclaimed. Towers are fine if you think you can come back and take towers for yourself, because if you lose towers, it's a gold deficit that can be made of towers of your own. Dragons, unfortunately, are only spawn, once every 5 minutes, and once they're gone, that's a same gold that a tower provides going in favour of the team that takes it down. So I'd like to see some group team fights from FragSoc now before ACOG really look to turn the screw, because look, they're grouping up in mid lane. This is what they want. It's getting towards that 30-minute mark. It's 25 to 30 minutes. This is where ACOG really do well. But they're sort of rotating bot lane. Look like they're going to take the pressure off. Look like they want to start pushing other lanes, but they're splitting up again. This is not really what I want to see them do when they're about 8k ahead in gold.
Yeah, I mean, the thing for FragSoc is that they haven't even taken that bot tower yet. If they could get all of the tier 1 turrets down for ACOG, they'd have a lot better map presence and a lot better ability to deny the vision of ACOG. ACOG at the moment have the advantage because they've got the forward wards, they've got the wards in the other team's jungle. Like, yes, FragSoc have a lot of wards in their own jungle, but that doesn't really matter. Actually, Tristana getting stopped on the back here, has to rocket jump away. Nautilus being a bit of a scumbag, just leading the rumble to Tristana.
Yes, and looks like they're backing off.
Might catch up. Oh, here goes in. Lots of damage coming down. There's the ace in the hole, and it's going to take him down to around a third health just to use that Spirit Rush to get away. Renekton, they noticed that Renekton was top, so they could engage on these fights. And Caitlyn going in. Lots of damage coming down onto the Caitlyn. She was taking some tower shots. Tristana gets some damage off there. Nautilus also very low. Rumble gets pulled in. Depth charge comes out on the Caitlyn. Here's the Shurellas. Tristana's going to go down. Oh no! Beautiful buster shot on the Kha'Zix. Blitzcrank goes down. Nautilus very low as well. Renekton's coming in here, and that Kha'Zix is still tanking the tower. If they can keep him close, here comes the Ahri. Lots of damage coming down from the Ahri. There's a kill on the Udyr. He gets shut down. That's 500 gold there going to Renekton. But Caitlyn's actually just been able to take this tower and uses that trap there. The Renekton was hungry, so he ate some cupcakes.
Well, there you are. Really great buster shot from this Tristana. It's not the first time we've seen her do it this game. She has been on point with escaping with those, and that was, if anything, the best time she could have done it. Kha'Zix trying to leap in and take the kill. That's the first death Udyr's had this game, but he has finished up his Blade of the Ruined King, so he's going to be a little bit more of a threat now than he used to be before. He's still pretty tanky. He's got the Shurellas, he's got the Spirit of the Ancient Golem. He's not going to be someone you can ignore in team fights, but he's not going to be someone that can go down easily either.
And the big disparity here is turrets. Like ACOG have managed to get that inhibitor turret down mid, which means if they need to, they can just have Udyr ghost in, get the turret down, and then ghost out, just run away. Like, he's got bear stance, he's got enough damage, he can get out quickly. I mean, it's a last resort because they don't need to do that at the moment. But if they wanted a sneaky inhib, they could just backdoor straight round the side.
Yeah, and what ACOG did there was exactly what they need to be doing. They need to be forcing these 5v5 engages while they're stronger. What FragSoc need to do is, while I would have said about 10 minutes ago FragSoc could have forced these engages, I think they need to sit back now and realise that they've got the Tristana who can carry them into late game, and the Ahri if she builds that Deathfire Grasp, which she has. She didn't actually finish her Zhonya's. She picked up the Seeker's Armguard just to sort of survive against the Kha'Zix in lane, but it now has that Deathfire Grasp, so we'll be doing that sort of burst damage that we know she can. Renekton having picked up that Spirit Massage for the extra healing from Kola Meek, and also that sort of extra bit of magic resist versus the Rumble. Obviously the Spirit Massage having been reworked a little bit, giving you 20 health per 5 seconds, obviously building out of that new item, which is the
Spectre's Cowl.
Spectre's Cowl, yes, that is indeed. Red buff being taken away again, giving over to the Caitlyn. I'm hoping that ACOG are gearing up for another 5-man push on this inhibitor. Looks like FragSoc are all sitting tough, expecting them
really
to rotate.
Here. They were trying to just, like 5 of them trying to push this back, and now they're just going to get 3 inhibitor aids off ACOG. Looks like the next is going to come down the side. They have to fight this. I mean, the inhibitor's gone down. Shurellas comes down there from Udyr. Janna's going to get depth charge. Nice equalizer there, just splitting off half the team. Renekton is on the back line, and Kha'Zix just taking out everyone here. Double kill for Kha'Zix. Rumble is up there with Kha'Zix as well. Triple kill for Kha'Zix. Caitlyn gets a kill, and that's going to be game. That's 5 kills, 5 for naught, and that is GG.
It's GG's coming out from FragSoc right there. They'll be moving down into the losers bracket. That's a surrender vote coming out. It's not the last we're going to see of FragSoc. Our third seeds are still in the game, but that is ACOG making a clean sweep, and we should be seeing, or could be seeing, Manchester versus ACOG in the next round, which will be a replay of last tournament's final. So looking to seek a little bit of revenge. But GG, well played to GG well played to ACOG right there, showing why they're the second seeds in this tournament, really coming out, and that's what they needed to do, to force that inhibitor down, and they were stronger in team fights. If FragSoc had turned it out a little bit earlier, got those team fights when they were only about sort of 3k behind, they had the stronger team fight when Ari had that first Death Fire grasp, could have gone in their favour, but unfortunately she wasn't quite charming enough with her from that lane.
Yeah, it's just overall, I think what happened was Rumble went behind in lane, but then came back late, just being Rumble really. He was quite, he farmed relatively well, around 30 CS behind the Renekton, but had more gold because of the dragons and the towers. He was able to equalise the fights. Kha'Zix was able just to jump around and be invisible, and the Janna was just blowing everyone back if they needed to. Caitlyn could just get in there, get her headshots off, and do enough damage for the Udyr just to, clear everything up in the end of it.
Yeah, but anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. We've got one more game today. We'll be streaming one of the losers brackets, quarters or semis. I'm not quite sure. Could be a semi. And we'll see you all tomorrow. If you aren't interested in seeing the losers bracket, if you are, stay tuned. But streaming for the next winners bracket starts tomorrow at 7 p.m. GMT, same time, same place. Thanks, guys.